Hey everybody, welcome back to the mortgage market, and as always I'm Derek LeVay. Since rates have really kind of stayed flat over the past couple of weeks, what I want to talk about today is assets. Now most people, when they hear the word assets, they think, oh, I have a car that's paid off, maybe even a boat or a second house that is free and clear. Now in the real world those are assets, but when loan officers speak about reviewing income and assets, we're talking about liquid cash on hand in the bank and things that can be easily liquidated, like a 401k, any other kind of retirement programs, stocks, bonds, things like that, maybe even CDs if there's the ability to break them or they're at maturity. Now the other thing we take into consideration is gifts. You're allowed to have relatives give you money towards the transaction, varying amounts, no limit to how much or how little that it can be as long as it's sourced and seasoned. Now what the bank does to source and season assets is they're going to look at 60 days worth of that asset. So Chase bank statements, 60 days. When you get the statements, they have to have every single page. You can't have one missing. Even the ones that say intentionally left blank on the bottom, most people will leave that out. However, in the eyes of the underwriter, the page that is left out is the page that shows all the money was withdrawn or a large deposit was put in there, and those need to be taken care of. Now, large deposits going to vary depending on income, but any kind of large deposits need to be explained also. So for example, if there's a $5,400 IRS check that was deposited, in April or whatever because of tax returns, simply going to need to show the bank, look, here's the check that was deposited, and it matches up with the tax returns to show everything in line. Where we run into issues are people who use a lot of cash in their business and they deposit large amounts of cash. Obviously, there's no way to show where cash came from. So these are things that when you're talking to your buyers, maybe ask them, have you had any large deposits lately over $2,000, over $1,000, depending on the dollar amount of the house. So if you have someone buying an $800,000 house, you might not ask them about a $2,000 deposit. But if you have someone who's buying a $250,000 house, then you're probably going to want to know of larger deposits because it's based off of what their income is. The other thing when it comes to gifts is we need to see where the money came from and where it ended up. So if the mother and father are going to give the children some money towards the transaction, we're going to have to show the donor's account, and it can only be given in a check. Cash is not going to be acceptable in that, even if we can show the money came from that bank and was deposited there. A lot of the times the underwriters are going to have an issue with that. As always, we try to keep these videos short and sweet, so if you have any more questions about assets or would like to know anything else, my information is in the description below. As always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in your next video.